across the bridge, you know they're going to start cleaning this side up.
But the Warriors, they're quite a cautious soul inside this game, that's for sure. In the previous game, they were not cautious at all. They were just
That's why they
approaching.
died.
Yeah, they were just approaching like it's nothing. But inside this game, there's a big chance they would play this one cautiously, realizing the fact that this is the last game, and they are on the first spot, and teams now are starting to close on up on that first spot. So if a team that's right underneath them, they do manage to win the game, then their position will be compromised. They will have one more bonus game to go at it, though. So technically, they have 2 games to play. But this wrangle is something that really just makes these players feel at home. They won't be pushed outside their comfort zone.
I think in a few short moments, everyone is going to be out of their comfort zone as the fights have been engaged, ladies and gentlemen. Dax losing one of their own in the early stages. They're going to try and go for a revive on Struggle, who seems to be struggling right now, just trying to avoid the shots coming in from Dictator from Gremlin Stop. Is he lying on his bed? Just, yeah, how did he manage to hit those shots like that?
Yeah, I want that skill too. I can never play while just lying on my bed like that. I'm not able to focus.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I don't know if that's the way to play, though. I mean, he's the first man I've seen play. I really feel like overall, when you're in a resting position or when you're just lying on your bed, laying on your bed, you are not able to focus that well, and it's normal, I think so.
I completely agree with you on that. I mean, if you are sitting up straight, you're going to be more focused. You're going to be more zoned in to what's happening and more aware about what's happening on the screen as well. So if I see someone playing like that, I'm actually impressed because I can't relax while playing. That is one of my problems.
Oh, I see you relaxed all the time while you're playing on your chair.
Yeah, but that's when we're
back,
casually chilling and playing, not in a competitive setting, right?
I mean, do these days you even try hard? Let's be honest.
Yeah, not anymore. It's been months.
Exactly. So you are like a casual gamer.
Yeah, I've given up. The competitive side on me, has.
I mean, you're quite old. It's understandable. You're a boomer. While on the other hand, I have the young blood in me.
Yeah, that's why your only strategy is just press W.
Hell yeah, man. Because I got the reflexes, you know. I can just turn around, shoot the players down. But I can't do anything if someone's just camping around, man. Anyways, we've got the airdrop ones on the board. Again, it's the AMR. And I honestly feel like the earlier the AMR drops, the bad it is.
Yes.
Because players are, of course, as soon as they go for the airdrop, they're going to be like, oh, it's the AMR. That means I'm going to run out of bullets, probably mitigate.
Yeah.
And that means they won't have any secondary weapons. So they would be like, okay, I just don't want it. Have it. I'll just not take it at that point. On the other hand, if the weapon drops somewhere in mid to late game, then players will go for it. They're like, okay, the game's about to end anyway, so I might as well get my hands on this weapon. I think so I will be able to have enough amount of bullets where they can try to blow the vehicles up, and in the final moments, you will pretty much have a clear line of sight on the vehicles that are rotating inside too, because they're being used as cover.
I think that's actually quite reasonable, as you explained about the AMR, but like, see what's happened to T2K. Oh, so quick! On the rotation, Godless not even getting an opportunity to even see him clearly. He just went for a pre-fire and luckily managed to hit a few shots, but the rest of the players from the side of T2K are now looking to collapse upon Godless, as he seems to be isolated in this position. But what they don't realize is the rest of the side of IHC is just wrapping them from every single direction. One more knock secured by the players of IHC, and T2K, oh, this decision is going to sting them till the very end of this match.
Speak about decisions stinging them in IT. Yeah, I mean, they've always been one of those teams inside this week that has made some sort of weird rotations happen. And look at this one. What am I watching? IT! You guys are reckless. I mean, even though they're still able to take over the control of that compound from Octopus, but they were able to win that duel because they had the man advantage in that one. I'd see some reckless driving, definitely some recklessly just going inside the compound, trying to shut down the players. I'd see if I'm not wrong. They've also lost out on one of the players, and they cannot keep going in this sort of pace anymore. IT, they will need to try and have some sort of control onto themselves.
Club, though, feeling quite lucky to be getting an opportunity to go for this revives as IHC, with just one man from their side being finished off, have decided to back off completely from the action. But Demo, he returns quite close to where the players from Wizards Club are going to be. Now, they just wait for an opportunity, wait for a moment to strike. This western edge of the zone right now is very clustered. You have Maptex away, IHC, Wizards Club moving out, DE just slightly inside the zone, and then you have the lads from T2K just about to enter the edge of the zone from the northwestern side as well. So it's not going to be an easy job for IHC to just stay out in the open, stay as aggressive as they were in the early stages of the game. Only a few individuals being forced to take an exit. All 16 teams still remaining in the game. And DE Warriors, look at this. This is what I was talking about. The moment they cross the bridge, you can be sure they're going to position themselves in a way that they will force 4v4 team fights against anyone who they see. And since the zone is still upon them, they don't really have an incentive to force that fight by themselves. They don't have to step out in the open. They can just wait in those compounds, wait at the lighthouse, the squatters, the gas station that's there. And they just hold on to that position. But look at this. Skylight Gaming up against DRS. A possible fight about to break out.
A possible fight. Still not sure though. I mean, the early games is pretty much like the podcast hours up till 12 to 13 minutes. And as soon as that happens, then we'll probably see a complete hell break and lose. Skylight's Gaming reuniting with each other once again as the next circle is going to sort of center on up on the patrol pump near the bridge as Dax is just trying to pressure the rotation off the side of Maptex, but Maptex, they're not going to be stopped in their tracks no matter what. They will make their rotation happen. Baron did catch a lot of bullets while he tried to slip around the corner.
Let's see how far away he can bring himself from the opposition there. Not too far, as Dax are just destroying the players of Maptex with a little help from the outside as well. The distraction being caused by the players of DE driving their vehicles in the distance. Paragon, you need to take this final pick for your team as a player from the side of Maptex just runs up to the first floor. Wally is going to be in the distance, and Paragon is going to be knocked out by the players of DE. As I said, the third party is coming in handy for both the sides over here. Maptex getting an opportunity to survive. Wally, we see him on the ridge. Apex has healed up as well, but takes a lot of damage as he tries to go for a nade on the ground floor. Now, Apex is fighting, going to be dropped to his knees as well. Assault missing every single opportunity to see and, in fact, spot the lad. And Wally, what a nasty shot through the window, saving his own teammate. What is happening right now? Maptex just doing an incredible job, and especially Wally from the distance doing so much to keep his team alive, bringing the numbers down to a 1v1 between Maptex and Dax.
Maptex, somehow they're able to get the grip back inside this one. The Molotov's going to be tossed in as well. The Flames are going to start a spread, but not that spread. That much amount of spread. But finally, Wally being caught in the open. This could have been an opportunity, but Wally unfortunately just overstepped outside. And Dax took an opportunity in that one. Spike X is still knocked out. Dax, they're able to stay alive for now. Another threat approaching is going to be the players of IHC. While one of the players from the side of IHC is knocked out, he should be back upon his feet. IHC, as I said, they were down to a three-man squad, where Alex was lost in that previous fight. And IHC, the problem with them is that they take fights, but unfortunately, they cannot come out on top of those fights flawlessly. They have the firepower, don't get me wrong, but the execution somewhere down the line is lacking.
Let's see, 14 teams, 49 players still alive. IHC having secured 4 eliminations and lost 1 player in return. For now, at least, will try to slow things down for themselves, avoid any unnecessary fight. And as I say that, they are going to try and follow the players of Dax, try and follow their path into the zone. On the other side there, on our screens, we have the players of Gremlin Storm in the thick and thin of everything, surrounded by a lot of different teams right now. Wizards Club losing 2 players over there are going to get eliminated as well.
Speak of that. And for now, again, somehow the game has came down to a little stalemate. The next circle has shifted down south, right on top of the players of TRZ inside Ferry Pier. And TRZ, they're quite quick as well with the rotation. They are now controlling the prime spot inside the circle, while DEW is still moving up from the back lines. Sprays are definitely being inflicted, but the shots are not being connected. 1952 right here, two players inside the vehicle. They're on a run. They do not want to stay inside that territory. They want to be the first one to make it inside the circle, but the circle's already starting to fill up with a lot of teams. Gremlin Storm as well, sort of on the similar type of pace, but I think so. The game plan for them here is to make it inside the circle pretty late and try and hold on to this compound for as long as possible. But the later you take a rotation inside these type of circles, the difficult things will be to breach it inside.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the edges are just going to be so clustered, it's going to be difficult to even move around, but look at that, DU Warriors just starting things off. You can see it in the feed over there. On our screens, fear from the side of Gremlin Storm, just trying to instill some fear into the players of Seal Esports out in the open, taking a few shots upon them with the Bison, just to make sure that they are going to be a little bit more paranoid and needed to. The slower this game gets, the more excited I am for the late game stages, because that's going to mean it's going to have a lot of chaotic action in it.
Speak of chaotic actions, and now DEW, they're being tickled by the players of Deadeye Skies. Their counterparts just tickling them. But is that going to be enough? What do we just see? Seal getting eliminated. Spooky just eliminated his own teammate. Seal pretty much just digging their own graves before anyone else could. That's another strategy you can try to apply. If you're just not going to give away points, how is the enemy team going to get points? 200 IQ play?
Yeah. Just blow up your entire team.
Think about it.
You know what the crazy thing is? We've actually seen that before.
We've seen that before. But for now, this game is getting shaped up pretty well too. I mean, DEW was definitely inside a fight where for now they're out of harm's way. They're back up with the 4-man strong Skylights Gaming. Now they need to breach inside, so now they will need to try and knock on some doors. And this time it's going to be the doors of Gremlin Storm, where they are on the defending end, and Skylights Gaming need to breach in. They need to be on the offensive end. But Gremlin Storm, unfortunately, are getting shot at even from the players of Giant Mara. It's a little third-party action.
It is going to be quite interesting to see if they actually manage to survive this. The possibility of that happening is going to be quite low, as Rowdy, in fact, does manage to get close enough to Fear to go for a revive, but Skylight Gaming have crawled their way in right next to the smokes. One good nade in that smoke, and both of these lads from the side of Gremlin Storm are going to be destroyed. The first one hit the marker, but the Molotov is not going to be anywhere close now. Mr. Boro, driving a buggy inside, is going to make sure that the information is going to be with him and his teammates as to where they need to shoot. But as they run towards that shack, they're going to lose so much HP. And finally, Gremlin Storm, they will be shown the exit from this game on the 11th position. And now we're finally down to the top 10 teams. Make that top 9 teams and 28 players alive, as the last player from South DE was also caught off guard by Dax, and they got that final pick and point.
Dax, unfortunately, the player's quite hurt inside the little shack, and Dax always just decides to compromise with some little piece of cover. But Dax, this is not the time. If you do decide to compromise with just that little shack you have available, you guys are going to get picked off from all the different angles, and this is what is exactly happening, because from the back lines is now the players of High Voltage approaching, and this shouldn't be that tough of a task for them to wipe it out. They are on an elimination spree against the players of Dax. They are just lining up, the bodies stacking up on top of each other. Now TRZ getting breached on by the players of DRS, and DRS is another strong contender that you cannot underestimate, but at the same time, DRS needs to take care of their backlines. They do have Keontae inside the smoke, but he gets found. That's a great find from the enemy team, and now TRZ, they're having a little unknown help that TRZ will definitely appreciate.
Let's see how this is going to work out, though, for these teams. There's a massive cluster towards the northeastern edge now. But in fact, the Eastern Edge, that's the only solid cover that the teams could think of now. Because now, I believe, all right, so ILC is there. We have Dax outside. All right, 5 teams at least towards the Ferry Pier. And DRS already having taken a lot of damage, won't be able to survive for long. They get eliminated. We're down to 8 teams. Only 2 players alive. Look at that. Janmara not in a fighting position anymore. Venom Legends have lost so many players. Skylight Gaming is there with just 3. And then we did see the players of the Warriors struggling as well. Add to the mix the players from TRZ, and I think this is where the teams will be under the most pressure. The best position right now in the zone is with the players of IHC, who are the only isolated team towards the the western edge of the circle right now. You see the grey dots on the radar there. Those are the players of IHC. If they finish off high voltage, this could be their win.
I don't like the split though, Johnny. I mean, I do understand they're currently controlling the most amount of circle, but if the circle shifts away, then that's going to be the biggest problem they can ever ask for, and that's what exactly happens. The circle shifts away. Now that split is going to be a little tough to play with because the players, even from the right side, are going to start to approach. The separated Icy is going to have a lot of trouble to deal with now.
They will definitely have quite a lot of trouble to deal with. TRZ again in this game with the man advantage. Them out in the open in his buggy, taking a lot of damage. Sliver of HP left, but still managed to make it quite close to his teammate Icy. Gonna have to heal up as quickly as possible, otherwise they're gonna be the world of hurt. Icy in the meanwhile is just trying to apply as much pressure as he can on any single individual he sees out in the open. Godless, he's just gonna try and go for those finishes, those eliminations.
I told you, this is not looking good.
Yeah.
I'd see. I mean, Demo was trying to scout the areas out in the front. While doing so, he caught a lot of fire into himself. I see, on the other hand, the separation, the only reason why I said is that because they were way too separated away from each other. Imagine if Icy got taken down while the circle was shifted away. Those were 2 extra amount of pressure being added on top of the players of IHC. I mean, they're already not doing that great inside the rankings, so the mentality definitely should be shaking, but they finally found their way inside the circle, barely on the edge too. A little cover to play around with, all the 3 players just stacked behind that. Skylights Gaming as well, now they're getting charged on, now they're getting challenged by another contender inside the lobby. The nades are being tossed in the front. It's a nade barrage coming in. To dodge that, it's going to be next to impossible, so damage is definitely being dealt. 1 player's being found. It's going to be Bora falling down as Mafia Ninja wanted to get the rest, but the second one floats in, and it's going to land right on the target. Mamba is able to find that one as AJ goes down. Another player's just prone, hoping that he's not going to be spotted, but that's not going to be the case anytime soon. It's high voltage, putting the final nail in the coffin, eliminating that team out the game. TRZ, another strong team in this competition.
They are looking quite strong as well for now. They have 3 players left. High voltage with a man down would have been easier to take down as well, but now the revive has been completed and high voltage are back to a 3-man roster. But Rare, he's going for an interesting push, just ran up quite a lot of distance. I believe the opposition is aware of his position. He missed just how far away the players from high voltage were be able to hear him, and yeah.
That's a prime overheat example, ladies and gentlemen. When you start feeling yourself, sometimes you do overheat, and that player did the exact thing. Got overheated, started feeling himself a bit too much, and just stepped right in the line of fire of Assassin. Assassin with the MG3 did some light work and pulled off that elimination point, as now TRZ are going to left with only 2 players to try and recover from. IHC, on the other hand, a 3-man squad. They do have a lot of things up in the front to deal with. They still need a breach inside the next zone, and that's going to be their main priority. How can they do that? How can they make high voltage fall off from this spot?
Let's see, I think this is going to be, now as we said in the previous game, we know who's going to win this game. This time as well, it's a similar situation. High voltage have the numbers advantage. IHC are outside the zone. TRZ, well, they've been struggling in their fights for a while now, but also it's just the 2 best players from the side of TRZ remaining. Atomic and Mamba have always been the players from the side of TRZ who remain in the limelight. Let's see how this one is going to go for them as well. The only thing that can change everything is if TRZ managed to secure a knock from high voltage, and I think this is going to be the moment because Atomic just saw Assassin running behind cover. And Godless with the nades he's lobbing towards this team is going to put them in so much pressure, even if one connects. But look at that, Mamba is going to be the man starting things off, bringing the numbers of this final fight between the top three teams down to a 2v2v2.
I mean, high voltage. They're short on the player. Molotov's going to be perfectly tossed in. Nowhere to go. Behind the crate, he's getting burnt down to crisp. And yeah, he will be shut down. Finally, the knockout's being found. And look at the players of IT. Now the goal call is going to be made as they have tasted some sort of blood on their hands. And they realize now they're looking pretty good. The only man they need to deal with. And that is also taken care of. And now IC, they're going to charge on even further. Of course, overheats as Godless is found. And then the second man as well will be taken down. And IC, out they came as well. High voltage cleaning up that final field like it's nothing. With 14 elimination points and 29 points in total. And 42 damage dealt. So, Johnny, you like my prediction?
I mean, for a second over there, I thought it was going to be the lads from IHC, yeah. TRZ could have taken this as well with the way Mama started off, but what are you saying your prediction? It's our prediction.
No, I made the call of high voltage, man, and then you copied me, alright?
No.
You're like one of those kids in the examination hall who sit behind me and copies what I wrote.
It's about just passing your exam, doesn't matter how you got the answer.
Actually, that was me when I was in my examination halls. But let's not talk about that.
Copying answers?
As you said, what matters is you passing out. And with that being said, it's time for us to push to a break. We'll be right back.